first, let's get into our number 4. You're going to introduce this one first, man.
Alright, next one, number 4 is Rob Kelly, and it's called Game Over.
Number 4. Anyone know about Rob Kelly? No? You know what?
We've been stuck in the studio, yeah, and it's just been us, 2012, so I ain't really heard none of the new
this guy's from Ireland, innit? Like, he's the biggest Irish rapper. Like, listen, serious. Listen to the punchline.
That's called Game Over, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, it's a big record, man. Check it out. Number 4, Rob Kelly, Game Over.
Now rocking with the 18th letter. Stop! Bring it to the 15th letter. Stop! No, wait for the second one. My people on the front line like it's Lebanon. My girl wanna leave, I get a better one. Okay, go. I don't be begging them, I just beckon them. So tell me what you reckon, hun. I reckon this jam done when the record's spun. How do you make a sick flow better? Prognosis from the doc said never. Do you hear what I'm saying? I'm too clever for my own good. I wonder will they catch up ever? No. Not probably. You are not on the same level as Bobby. I am not on the same level as all these competitors. The wait's over. Tell them pack it up.
Game over. I thought I told you this was done. I told ya when you first heard me speak in tongues. I don't understand why you are continuing to try. Game over. Game over.
They call me Killer Kelly. See me on the telly. Vision with the message like Melly from the helicopter flow. Bad man, doctor, no. So if you don't, then you act cause you ought to know. That's right. You're now rocking with the no one better. Get it? Relax for a sec on that thought. Let it settle and digest that even when I'm dumbing it down, don't try test the king. Rob Kelly, I'm excellent. Rappers fake tough guys like wrestling. But this ain't no sucking, no Jim Duggan. Still have the 4x4s, you're not with the B-hop or the street hop with a mean topless chick with a D-cup smoke in the cheap option. Holiday impact on the stay over it. Tell them pack it up. Game over.
I thought I told you this was done. I told ya when you first heard me speak in tongues. I don't understand why you are continuing to try. Game over. Game over.
Yo, game over. Told you. Bleak still here like a soldier. Riding through Dublin in a Rover. Me and Rob Kelly, we a Folgin. Never in the potty without my army. Speaking like I'm Irish, y'all got the part in me. Let me get back to it. Trying to get wasted, where my fluid? Everybody drunk, what the fuck is up? A couple with me now, they'll suck us up. When everybody walk around down the knuckle up. So come out here acting tough, they'll whoop you up. I got my dog Rob Kelly and my homie Mogwai. Trying to get drunk, tell them bring the rosé. I'm from BK, NY streets, Kush Gang worldwide. What the fuck you think?
Game over. I thought I told you this was done. But I told ya when you first heard me speak in tongues. I don't understand why you are continuing to try. Game over. Game over. Game over. I thought I told you this was done. But I told ya when you first heard me speak in tongues. I don't understand why you are continuing to try. Game over. Game over.
So there it is. Number 4 in our Hot 6 at 6. Rob Kelly featuring Memphis Bleak. Game Over. It's a big record right there.
BBC Radio 1 Extra.
Charlie Sloth.
So what do you man think about that record?
I like that.
Yeah?
I like that, you know. I like how you can hear his accent in it, you know what I mean?
Different,
Yeah,
man.
he's repping where he's from.
Definitely,
like
man. Stand up, Dublin.
Once again, another catchy hook, you know.
Yeah, mad catchy.
I like that.
Mad catchy. And Memphis went in on there as well, man.
Yeah, man, I was surprised to hear a verse from Memphis, to be honest. I was thinking, right.
Just out of the blue, innit? Just pop that.
Memphis, like. But yeah, that's a good track, man. Especially coming from there. Never heard nothing from there before, so that sounds really good, man.
Yeah, so look.
Big up Rob Kelly, man.
Yeah, big up Rob Kelly. So if you want to get in touch with Tinchy and Rough Squad, ask them any questions, drop us a line right now. Hit me up on the text line 88.
Hail, hail, and welcome to the HomeBhoys Extra recorded podcast. Once again, with myself, Joe McKenna, and of course the Reverend David Harper. Say hello, Dave, so people know you're actually here, because I know you get nervous about things like that whenever I don't say your name.
I need properly introduced at all times, man.
I know, I understand that. Like you're like an angry wife sometimes. You know, gets left behind, like a football player's wife that nobody talks to, and you're like, oh, goose. Right.
The red-headed stepchild.
That's it. You know, just calm down. You get a slap. Know what I mean?
I can say that though because I have got red hair. So
only on your head though. The Movember's not going too well, is it?
Shut up.
Right. HomeBhoys Extra. We always like to bring you something a wee bit off centre, a wee bit left of field. We've had Justice for the 96, we've had Donny O'Connor, and today we're going to bring you a guy who, and to be honest with you, this is probably a self-indulgent podcast on my part, because something that people may not know about me is that I'm a massive rap and hip-hop fan, as in, like, it's probably my favourite style of music. I've been listening to it since I was 9 years old, and I haven't stopped listening to it all the way through my life. Today, we're going to bring you a guy who is, without a doubt, the hardest working and the most popular, most respected Irish rap artist. Yes, you heard me. Irish rap artist, Irish MC. A guy from Wexford. A guy who's also a massive Celtic fan, a massive boxing fan, has got respect from guys like 50 Cent, Jay-Z, Memphis Bleak of Rockefeller Records. He's rapped with guys from Boston, Slane. He is a voice for Ireland. He's a voice for Wexford. He is probably the finest lyricist from this island. He's a mixture of W.B. Yeats and I can't think of anybody else cooler. So, ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome the one and only Irish rap legend that is Rob Kelly.
Wow, what an intro. Thanks very much, guys.
I spent the past hour writing that out, Rob.
That's pretty good.
Say, how you doing, Rob? Are you good?
Today, man.
Yeah, I hope I'm able to live up to that introduction. Thanks for anyway.
So, Rob, I say the vast majority of our listeners will have no idea who you are. Apart from me, I got a message sent from Harper the other day going, this guy sent me this message, and it's about the Jay-Z scarf. Yeah. And I looked at it and I was like, oh shit, that's Rob Kelly.
Yeah.
And I would have heard you, the first time I heard you rhyme might have been maybe 4 to 5 years ago when Wes Darcy had a hip-hop show.
Yeah, back. Yeah,
how long back am I going there?
You're going back, believe it or not. That's 10 years ago. That was how I got my start. Wes Darcy, which is interesting enough that you remember that. What happened was, I'm like yourself. I've been a hip hop fan all my life. Like from 12 years of age, I've been nothing but a hip hop nerd. Like, and he had some rappers in the studio one night, and I didn't even know about the show. I was driving around, and I was like, they're playing 1 or 2, 3, 4 hip hop songs. I was like, what's going on here on 2FM? We've got a hip hop, and he had these rappers in. They were terrible. So I either emailed him or I called him. I can't remember. I emailed him or called him, but I was like, who are these guys? Get them out of here. Like, and he called my bluff. He was like, you can't do any better. Now, I hadn't rapped. Like, I had always rapped and kept it, like, in secret. You know what I mean? I never rapped for anybody or anything. So I was like, now he's called my bluff. I have to go through with it. Like, so I turned up at the station the next week, like, did a bit of a session, and then I just kept getting asked back every week. And that was the start of it. Like, that was how I had to kind of take it seriously as a... and you know, it all just kind of snowballed. Like, I took it further than I ever thought I'd take it, really, to tell you the truth. When I started off, that was really, I just wanted to go and show I was better than them guys, and then everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, when people go on YouTube and look at your stuff and look at sort of how like some of your videos are fantastic, man. I mean, like, as in, like,
thanks very much,
really well produced. One of my friends actually worked on a video you recorded in the Raid venue in Swords here in Dublin. That would have been a couple of years back.
Yeah, it was. I know those guys. Yeah, I know.
So I mean, some of them
names. I'm terrible with names, but I know who they are.
I'm terrible with names too. And so, I think in terms of, like, your abilities, right? I've seen you sit down with a guy who I would probably say is the finest rapper, one of the finest rappers I've ever seen in my life, and that's Brother Ali. And you sat down and freestyled with him, and in fairness, his freestyle fell apart at one point, and you picked it up and finished it off, which for me was like massive respect.
Brother Ali was in Dublin, and I was Mo had interviewed. Mo, who's my DJ, works on has a show on RT as well, doing a hip hop show. So he was like, "Yo, come through to the station." Like, he was like, "We get you to just rhyme together." I was like, "I don't want to intro because Brother Ali's a cool guy, but we knew some of the same people. So when I got there, it just kind of happened like that, and the camera was there to get it. But I mean, Brother Ali is incredible, and he actually tweeted my new video the other day.
I seen that
out of nowhere, which was a nice touch. He's a really cool guy, but massive talent as well. Absolutely incredible talent.
And what's good about your videos as well, for any Celtic fans out there, in your latest video, Canelo Alvarez,
yes,
which is an absolutely great tune.
Thanks very
Great
much.
tune. The beats are sick.
Yep.
There's a great big picture. There's a great shot of a St. Pauli flag just
Yeah,
flying.
I got that on purpose. The affiliation between and Celtic. It's actually a cool little store in Temple Bar in Dublin that kind of does vintage football jerseys, but they have this big St. Pauli flag flying outside. I was like, right, get that.
I have the very same flag in this room as my coffee table cover.
I thought that was maybe actually from the, because there's a St. Pauli's supporters club in Dublin, isn't there?
Is there?
There probably is, but it's in it. I couldn't tell you the name of it. Around one of the side streets in Temple Bar, and it does all vintage football jerseys. So when I saw the massive St. Pauli flag, I was like, to John, who does the videos, Jonathan Lambert, I was like, get that in there, like, make sure that it's noticed. So for people like yourself who know I'm a Celtic fan, and I'm making a little nod to the fans with that, like, so.
And I've seen it also in your video. What was the video called? It's gone out of my mind. Bragging Rights. Name of the tune. Take a look.
Take a look, yeah.
Take a look. You also have a line in there about being green and white, and there's a photograph of you with a Hearts and jersey. So
yeah, that's a signed Hearts and jersey. I'll tell you the story behind that. That's actually my friend. It's actually Noel Hunt got me that jersey. Noel Hunt was my friend from Wexford who Boo-Hor. He won a couple of All Ireland's boxing. You know, I'm a big boxing fan too. And we do some boxing, and he was actually playing for Wexford Celtic when I was involved with coach Wexford Celtic. There's a long story. We'll get to it anyway. And up final with Dunfermline when we beat him 3-0. And Noel Hunt was mates with Gary Dempsey, and Gary Dempsey's from Wexford, and Boo was mates with Gary Dempsey. So anyway, Hunty swapped jerseys with Hartson at the end of the game, and he gave it to Boo to give to me. So I was happy with that one. But in the sense that Noel Hunt picked up on one of my songs and he started tweeting it, so he follows me on Twitter now as well. So shout out Noel Hunt, he's a good guy. I would have liked to see him come to the league at one stage.
I'd love to see. I'd love to get him on the podcast too.
Yeah, but sorry, I'll message him and ask him. I'm sure he'll be up for it. Like, he's a Celtic fan anyway. Like,
absolutely, so. that'd be great stuff. I mean, the more people we can get on here, the better. So, yeah. I mean, in terms of, like, give us your background. We always want to find out people's backgrounds on Celtic, right? Because this is predominantly a Celtic podcast, but I'm gonna saturate it with hip hop talk because I just love talking hip hop. Because
it's all good with me either way. We could talk about both.
We'll talk about everything. We'll talk about everything, man. Let's just keep it going. So, in terms of your Celtic sort of history, I mean. What
my history in football was my earliest. Put it this way, without getting too much into it, my earliest football memory was watching Maradona do his thing against England in 1986 with my dad. And put it this way, like, my dad would never been upset to see England get beaten. So you can draw your own conclusions from that. Like, that was what I was exposed to at the start. But I never, when I was a kid in Ireland, like growing up, everybody supported Liverpool. Most people supported Liverpool. A couple supported United. Other teams like Everton and Spurs, they were the teams that people supported, and then obviously it changed in the 90s. Everyone started supporting United, but I could never identify with supporting an English team. I used to watch them on TV and hear their fans and the songs they sing, and and something about that resonated with me, and nothing struck me to support the team. Actually, Wexford didn't have a team in the League of Ireland at that stage. There was no Wexford youths, so I didn't really support anyone, although I love football. And what happened when I was 15, my cousin Tim McGrath, who was an exceptional footballer, an exceptional soccer player. All my cousins were actually. I don't know how I didn't good, but all the rest of them were very good. Another mate that went to Leeds, but he was put by Celtic, and Tim and another guy from Wexford, Patrick joined Celtic, and they were the first two from Dublin, you know, to go to a big club. Like, a couple of clubs were in for him, but obviously with the Irish connection, they figured that Celtic was the best one for him. So to cut a long story short, anyway, Tim was loyal at Celtic and was very highly regarded by Tommy Burns, who was the first team coach at the time. And for Ireland, he was underage, nominated for Player of the Year. He used to play centre half, nominated Player of the Year with Richie Dunn and Steve McPhail for the 2 years. And Tommy Burns taught a lot of him. Willie Maxday taught the world of him. And then he was in digs with Paul Dalglish, who was obviously Kenny Dalglish's son, who was at Celtic somehow. I don't know, because he wasn't a player anyway, but he was there anyway. And Kenny Dalglish wanted to sign him for Newcastle, and he just decided to turn his back on football. So he left football and didn't go back. Like he got homesick or whatever, and he left Celtic and he never joined anyone else. He messed about playing for Waterford United for a little bit, but it's just one of them stories. He was never let go. Well, a lot of guys go away and they don't make it and they come back, but Celtic kept him on for a year, week to week, just to see would he change his mind and come back. That's how highly he was loved. So he never went back to football, which is a big pity for me because I'd have been over there getting to see a lot more games than I get to see. But that when I saw Celtic and when I was over there, that was when I see the relationship between Irish people and the Celtic fans and it's essentially an Irish club in Scotland, and it was just something inside me, and from that moment on, then I was just obsessed with Celtic, and that knocked on to my mum and dad. My late mother became a Celtic fan. She never understood football, but she loved Celtic. She used to watch, so I used to kind of watch the games with my mum and dad then at that stage, and it just became a kind of family tradition. And that's really how I got started as a Celtic supporter. So around the time of where we had all flair going forward and nothing at the back under the late great Tommy Burns, we had Van Hooydonk, Di Canio, Cadete, all those days. So that was when I guess it's a late enough introduction into supporting Celtic.
In fairness, Rob, you got on the bus when it wasn't really going anywhere.
Yeah. But to be fair, to be honest, I had a season ticket then, and that was one of the best Celtic teams to watch in my memory. Like, it was an absolute. They never won anything. No, but it was so entertaining. The atmosphere of the games was brilliant. It was a good time if you're a Celtic fan, to be honest.
Yeah, it was great. They were great to watch, and the quality of players, to get those players who went on to do such great stuff elsewhere in the world, that we had them first. And there's a bit of that in the current team at the moment. You feel that some of the players that we have at the moment could go on and be probably great players somewhere else. You know what I mean? It's we're going to be lucky to hold on to a lot of the current squad, I think. But Lennon has to get a lot of credit for signing players that he signed in the last 2 years since he's taken over. Really has to, with the money that we spent to be where we are at the moment is mind blowing.
That's exactly. See, when you think about it, right, and it kind of seems like we're in the middle of something really, really, really special, because it's kind of like, whoa, is this really happening? This team, they look that good. In fairness, see yesterday, I don't want to talk about yesterday's game because we'll do that tomorrow night in the show, but yesterday Aberdeen gave everything they had, and Celtic still seen them off with a weakened squad, right? Yeah,
and it's you know what it is? I think about 2 years ago when it beat Rangers in the infamous game with Ali McCoy and Lenny had the bust up at the end of the game. In that game and the weeks before that, I know we went on and lost the league that year and we shouldn't have, we threw it, but you just got a feeling that side was going to be something special. Do you know when they were 2-0 or when they came back to 2-2 with the sendings off at Ibrox?
Oh, the Scottish Cup.
And then the next, and then in the replay, then we went 1-1, but you just knew how good they were going to be. And then we've added a couple of players like Wanyama's an absolute unbelievable buy. We've added and even like Miku. You get the feeling Miku might be able to do something in the future. Last these guys, Chris Commons was a bargain buy. Izagirre was a bag, and now Izagirre mightn't even get a look. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable what he's done on the money. Like, to be where we are at the moment is absolutely unbelievable. I just hope we can see it through now on Tuesday and get a result and get out of the group. And who knows then? Maybe we can take it one step further.
We've beaten the favourites.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
does that make us the favourites?
yeah.
You would think so, but then again, it is Scotland. So,
Rob, can I take you back though? Let's not get too far ahead. How old are you, Rob?
I'm 34.
You're 34. So, going back to try to think back to that team when you first started watching them under Tommy Burns. So did you travel over to many games then, or a supporters club, or what was the deal back then for going to games?
They tried to. I was in school then, so I wasn't travelling no place. You know what I mean? Back in the day, where there was no Wexford Celtic supporters club, there was me and a couple of my good friends that that were around then with him, and that we were supporting Celtic, and that was our thing. So we used to sneak out of on a weeknight down to the pub to watch the Old Firm games. I remember one great one when Di Canio scored and we won in the Scottish Cup. Was it 2-0? Was it 2-0? Yeah, I think it was 2-0. Di Canio scored both of them. But we had the whole school down there, underage drinking in a pub in Wexford Town. The boarders. I went to a school that had boarders and day pupils, and the boarders snuck out. We had about 30 of us down there. I met the PE teacher outside. I was like, "We won." He was like, "Yeah, just don't come in tomorrow."
That sounds like a great school.
Didn't start going on. I was in my 20s. So, you know, when I had it, you know, when I was working or whatever, and I was trying to get a few bob together and all that, like I didn't start going to games. So it wasn't really until Martin O'Neill took over that I got over a couple of times, because I got lucky a couple of times with tickets for Champions League. One of the ones I remember particularly was Champions League against Juventus.
Oh, you were there, were you?
Yeah,
that was a lot game as well.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I know we didn't go through. We got 9 points that year. We probably should have gone through. In any other division, we would have gone through. Like, but
I watched that game in Mardi Gras in Key West in Florida.
Oh, nice.
That has to be one of the. I mean, I know they're talking about the Barcelona game last week, right? Ranking up there as, like, people were saying. I heard on one of the other podcasts they're putting it in their top 5 games of all time and stuff like that. And I don't know if that's a wee bit hysteria because it's so close to the game and everybody's on a high. And I know it's because we've got they are the best team in the world, and we shouldn't have a chance against a team like that. But I have to say, that Juventus game was, and I know we never got qualified that night, so it was a downer coming up. But the actual football that was played by both teams that night was breathtaking stuff and breathtaking goals. When you think about Sutton's volley and when Lavchik came on, it was brilliant, man. It was just one of the games that it still sticks with me. It'll always stick with me. And it's definitely in my top 3 games of all time. Like.
Absolutely. I mean, the quality of goals as well in that game. You look at it, Trezeguet was on fire at that time. He had brought him on at half time. He just started running the show. Del Piero had scored an unbelievable kick for them. Then, you know, we got back into it. I think Van Haren scored the first goal again.
That's right, I did it. My memory of that game, right, is obviously I was sitting at a tiki bar in Key West. This is going to be outside of any realm of anybody that's ever remembers watching this game. I was at a tiki bar in Key West, right, and there was a massive speedboat race going on the bay, and there was thousands of people there, and they were all packed at the edge, looking at the water, screaming for this fucking boat race, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there in a Celtic jersey in the bar, drinking Guinness, going, come on! Screaming, going bananas at ESPN at like 12:30 or 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
What's a tiki bar?
Tiki bar's like an outdoor sort of bar thing, isn't it? Like that's bamboo and shit.
I get you.
But there you go. I mean, it's not very rock and roll, but, you know, it's my life.
Well, we were at the game, so.
We're just saying, you know, while you were there freezing your bollocks off watching the real thing, I was having margaritas.
Some of the time you'll get, like, just as good of memories if you're not at the game, if you're with good people. I remember the first, Martin O'Neill's first Old Firm game. I was in Dundalk with a bunch of maniacs that I had met on holidays in Mexico, and they were all Celtic fans. Like, I walked, you know, as standard as you do, Irish guy on holidays, took the Celtic shirt out, walked out the first morning. There these guys on the other side, they hadn't even fucking checked into the hotel yet. They still had their bags with them, like, from the night before. They were just sitting on the sun lounges, drunk. Over and over. I was like, all right, Ron. So I kind of stuck with them for the 2 weeks. Yeah, we watched the game in a pub. There's bullet holes in it. It was unbelievable, the atmosphere in there. It's probably nearly tops, you know, any game I've been to, like, just the atmosphere. Because he won so badly at that time and beaten them soundly in so many years, like, and probably since Joseph Svenglass, we've beaten him, like, by more than so, yeah, we murdered him that day.
I remember watching that game in New York. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. But it was one of them things where I wasn't sure until we kind of got the 6th one that it was over, you know, because we had a horrible way of playing against them where we'd be dominating them and then they won't get the winner. So I was like, this is not over yet. Like, yeah, we did number on them, and that was the sign of things to come.
I think I've heard nearly everybody I know say that last week's game against Barcelona tops the 6-2 game. And I don't know. The 6-2 game, I will sit down and watch the 6-2 game over and over again because it's just body blow after body blow after body blow after body blow, and it's just complete domination. Barcelona game was, I mean, an incredible result, an incredible performance, like, of discipline. But, I mean, are you going to sit down and watch it constantly and wait for the 2 goals? I don't know.
You know, I got to put it in perspective. I think that is probably one, if not one of the greatest sides in the history of world football. And that's not an exaggeration. I don't think you got to put them up there with the Ajaxes and the great Brazilian teams just because of what they've done. And even the start to their season, you know, they're already 8 points clear in La Liga, and people can say they're not the same as the world. I don't agree with that. Like, I think they're just as good. And we've I know Mourinho laid the blueprint of how to play against them, but 9 times out of 10 that won't work for you. You know what I mean? You know, you can set up with discipline, you can drive them wide. You can try and ride your luck a little bit and not give them space, but 9 times out of 10 that will work against you. And the fact that we face almost got away with it the first time, and the second time got a victory and restricted them really to chances that, I know they hit the bar and they hit the post, but most of the shots that were from shots outside the box. And I thought it was just an unbelievable performance and a special moment really for a Celtic fan, and a lot of teams get to play Barcelona ways to beat them, So for me, in recent memory, maybe it is a bit of hysteria over the performance, but it's going to take a lot of topping to beat that result. But still, I want us to get out of the group now, Yeah. I don't want it to be all. There's 2 tough games. I think we can play like that against Benfica because of that Oscar Cardozo who's done it against us before out there. If you drive them wide, he's in the box. Like, you know what I mean? He's a force to be reckoned with. But
the one thing I think Neil Lennon has done. I mean, Neil Lennon worked under 2 coaches. Two monumental coaches, Martin O'Neill, and he was sort of under the tutelage of Gordon Strachan then as a coach. And I think what he's taken from Strachan is the ability to play safe, but still win. Because Strachan was always good at playing safe, but still winning, right? But he's taken this one-man motivation, and he's given it to these players, right? Whether it's a thing from the north of Ireland, I don't know. It's a Lurgan thing, it's a Derry thing. I'd probably have it myself. Who knows? Right?
No, you've not.
You never know. I drive this show, so you never know.
There's a bit of subordinates there in the ranks. I don't know.
But I'm just saying. I mean, I watched the video of Neil Lennon running on the pitch there at Barcelona, and he ran up to Fraser Forster and he grabbed him and he just screamed in his face, "I love you!" and he gave him a big hug and he threw him out of the way. Right? That's the kind of guy you want. That's the kind of guy you want to please, isn't it? Like, that's the kind of guy you want to please.
I think for us, I said, we're getting the manager, we're getting the dream at home because he was the fans' choice, obviously, after the disaster that was Tony Mowbray. I still fucking can't get over that Tony Mowbray appointment, by the way. He got relegated playing total football, but still got relegated, and we were, the fans were upset that Strachan was winning games, but not excitingly. Like, the winning is the only fucking what anyone thinks. Like, it's the same for to a degree with the Trapattoni thing. Counting football is the results.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
I've always said Gordon Strachan suffered from the fact there was no Green Brigade at that time.
Big time.
See if we had a Green Brigade there then, and the atmosphere they would have created as we were winning leagues, it would have been a completely different story. People would have remembered Gordon Strachan's reign a bit differently.
And as well as that, Strachan doesn't get the credit he deserves from a lot of our fans for what he did, because he didn't have the budget. Now, I know in the budget that he even had, but he didn't have that Martin O'Neill had. He got us out of the Champions League group stages twice. Like, we qualified to get above Benfica and Shakhtar Donetsk, who had loaded money into, and we were getting bargain basements. We're getting through to the group stages from the stages with players like Evander Snow in the team. Not that he was a regular, but Mark, these guys, Strachan doesn't really get the credit that he deserves as a Celtic manager. Like,
listen, Gordon Strachan was brought into the job, and Gordon Strachan did that job.
Absolutely.
And with high merits, right? He was brought in to bring a wage bill down and still bring success, right? And that's a bitch of a job.
Yeah, of course. Because the expectation from the fans is you win the league or nothing. Yeah, then anything is a bonus. Like the results he got to beat Man United, to beat AC Milan under him.
Yeah.
We've just got so unfortunate because we got AC Milan one year and we got Barcelona next year. Like, so if we get out, we'll get a favourable draw this year. Like, if we can get out of the group and maybe go on better, like, because that's where.
If you're one of those players, you're looking at a Barcelona game and you're going, if we go out there and give even like 3/4 of what we gave against them, we can beat the likes of Borussia Dortmund. We can beat the likes of Real Madrid. Man City won't even make it through. We can beat Ajax. We can definitely beat Man United, right?
Well, who's gonna want to come to Celtic Park now and try and play us over 2 legs?
Exactly. Very good point.
So I mean, the sky's the limit. But I think to get back to what you're talking about, you do kind of feel something special is happening. Now, we could be getting ahead of ourselves and they could go and get thumped on Tuesday, but just to turn around in Spartak to get the result, and Samaras scores the winner. Just things that wouldn't have happened previously are happening for us now, and it just feels like a great time to be a Celtic fan, really.
It does.
Rob, do you know what else was really important? And regardless what happens, and people will say it'll all be for nothing if we get beat for Benfica and we get beat for Sparta, but it won't all be for nothing. There's two very important things that have came out of the Barcelona game. One is the experience that the players have gotten fit, and not just the experience, the taste of that kind of success at Celtic Park, where some of these players might want to hang around a little longer than they might. Maybe your Wanyamas. Maybe I'm just sort of maybe I'm sort of reaching there. But the second thing is it puts Celtic back on the world stage, and not just the European stage. It puts Celtic back on the world stage.
Yeah,
people were talking about that. People were talking about that result worldwide, and they were talking about the fact that we nearly done it to them in the new camp as well. So it gave Celtic a real big legitimacy worldwide.
As well as, yeah, and I agree with you 1,000,000%. And I think people took the result on its merit. Like, we nearly did it the first time. It would have been easy. Everybody was thinking, all right, they're not going to do it to Barcelona 2 times in a row. They're not going to be able to play like that against them. Barca score first, and it'll be 4-5. Everyone was thinking that. Like, all the pundits were being almost disrespectful to us in the build-ups to the game on Sky and on RT, and then we did it again, and we went one better. And I mean, the only thing that takes a little bit of the shine off the result is that Messi scored late on. that was the only you know, because if we'd have beaten them 2-0, it would have even been much better. But look, I think if we get out of the group, who knows what could happen? You know, I'm starting to get that feeling. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. You know, when we went on that run in 2003, when we got on the UEFA Cup run, it's starting to feel a little bit special. Like, who knows where we could end up? And we've got a group of players now that can test themselves and really show how good they are on this stage, because we know Hooper's a player, we know Wanyama's a player, we know Izaguirre is a player on his day, we know, but the other guys are coming through, like Kelvin Wilson, Ambrose, Lustig. Lustig looked like a bomb scare the first couple of times I saw him play. I thought I didn't think he was going to cut it for Celtic. I thought he wasn't going to be good enough.
He's turned into my favourite player now.
Yeah, well, I have to say, I called it for the very first day that Lustig was a player. Like, I have to be quite smug about that.
None of us can remember that. So
well, it's on tape, so tough.
I thought when I saw him his first couple of games, I thought he looked anxious. He was giving the ball away a little bit. But in the Champions League, he was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. And same with Adam Matthews. So again, like, all credit to Lennon, and Lennon is the guy that we wanted. And now that he's doing it, it must be, you know, it's fantastic for us, because he's always been a fan's favourite as a player. For him to take the job and go so far in his first 2 years, it's unreal.
Do you know what I love about this season? The fact that the reason I think we're doing so well is there's no Huns to sicken.
Yeah.
There's no reason to be sickening Huns. We're just doing it for ourselves.
Yeah.
Celtic are doing it for themselves.
That's
the Green Brigade chant I want to hear.
Banter on Twitter. The Huns are still trying to give banter on Twitter on the night of the Barcelona result. I'm like, who are you even playing these days? Like, what are we? You know?
Here, they're playing Elgin City on ESPN next Saturday.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's just like nobody cares about you anymore. Like, I could probably dial a couple of numbers in my phone and whip up a team that'll put up a fight against you at the moment. You know what I mean? I don't know if we win, but we definitely give them a game. We might hold them scoreless for 60 minutes. Do you know what I memean? Like,
brilliant. Harper, any questions you want to be asking, Rob?
What about hip hop?
I tell you, if I go hip hop, I'm not coming back.
No, but you can drift in and out, because obviously there was a big connection in the newspapers today.
I will get to that now. Tell you what,
if
I was going to draw one parallel between hip hop as I know it, and I've been in hip hop, I lived in New York for about 3.5 years, and I have friends in the South Bronx who are producers and rappers, and you know, close friends. Shout out to Bugnanas, South Bronx, Immaculate Boys. New album coming, 12-12-12. So you know, so they'll enjoy that hopefully. So if I was the parallel Celtic and hip hop, I would say community. It's all about community. Hip hop's about community, and I've seen your videos. A lot of your friends are in your videos. You had Andy Lee in your video. You had lots of different people in your videos. I mean, obviously, it's a lot of your friends are involved. Hip hop's always been like that. And what I love about hip hop is when one person hip hop goes up, like as in yourself, goes up and starts getting prominent, starts getting respect. It's not just that person that goes up.
Yeah,
everybody else goes up too. Right?
Yeah, true. I agree. I mean, the reason a lot of my friends are in the videos though is because we have no fucking budget. You know, you got to get your friends in the videos. Like, you got to fill some spaces. Now, I was lucky enough with Andy Lee. Like, he was a fan of the music, and I got to go to the ring with him a couple of times. I got to meet Emmanuel Stewart, of course. Rest in peace, Emmanuel Stewart. I got to meet him and have dinner with him and wreck his head about boxing for about 2 hours one time so I've been lucky with that. But yeah, there's definitely, like, I always wanted to show that I was a Celtic fan, even though I don't like make it make it abundantly clear in lyrics and stuff, because you don't want to make it corny and have too much love for the club to kind of do a cheesy song. But
leave that shit to me, Rob. I do that.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? You're not going to see me crying like Rod Stewart or anything. But it's just like, I don't know. Celtic is a special club, and when you're a Celtic fan, you'll only understand it when you're a Celtic fan. Like, I hate these people that say, "Oh, Celtic are my second team. I support Man United and Celtic." No, you fucking don't. Like, you support Celtic and that's it. You don't have a second team. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hate those people. They wind me up. Celtic, you know those guys that go around in Ireland, especially with Celtic t-shirts on, they couldn't tell you who's in the start. They probably still think Larson still plays for them. You know what I mean?
I hate that.
Can't stand them. Like, we don't want you. You're not Celtic fans. Just leave us alone. Go fucking support Man United or Man City or whoever you want to support this week. Like, being a Celtic fan is a special thing, and it's a relationship with the club and a relationship with the supporters, and everybody can see it. The whole world can see it. Like, if I don't know if you guys saw the clip Chris Commons put on Twitter, but it wasn't a YouTube link, but it was some kind of video link, something like Vimeo or something, where they had filmed inside the stadium on the day of Barcelona game.
It was I think it was one of the lads that was carrying the Champions League flag.
Yeah.
Apparently, it looks like he's pulled his phone out and just like while the teams are coming out and the whole display was up, he just did a circle around the stadium and went, "Yeah, this is amazing."
No, this was a professional. This was done by a TV crew.
Wow, it is. I seen that one where it starts off with it's an empty Celtic Park.
Yes, and it shows. You see Fabregas and you see Xavi, and they're looking at the fans.
And you see how Ger PK's looking all around the stadium, and he claims back into the dugout, and he starts going, "Oh my God, I couldn't stop looking at people." You can see on his face.
Yeah. And then Fabregas gets out, and he has a look, and they're looking. It's just, and as I say, it's a special thing being a Celtic fan. So
let's talk hip hop then. Right,
sure.
I'm on hip hop. Right? I'm a massive hip hop fan. My favorite rapper, if I was to pick my top MC, it would probably be Mos Def.
Right.
Because I just love the way he flows.
I could have swore you were going to say Vanilla Ice there.
No.
He's my favourite.
Listen, everybody's had bad hip hop choices, right? I was a Crisscross fan when I was 12 and 13. You know what I mean? So
even I remember them.
Yeah, who wasn't?
Exactly. So I'm saying, I mean, we've all made mistakes. Snow, E17.
I never went to E17.
I tell you what, E17 are playing in a hotel in Dublin at Christmas.
I've seen them. I saw them in Wexford I went out about fucking 4 years ago out in Wexford town for a few drinks, and it was like 90s night in the hotel, and fucking E17 and 2 Unlimited were playing in this. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And you're just going to yourself, please God, just go away and get a job.
Like, if this night goes off without any incidents, we're going to be fine. You know what I mean? Because like the crowd, this is going to attract
people in Dossie Posse jackets and
gas
masks.
It's quite good actually in the end. I had a few jars on me anyway, so I can't really remember much about it, but it seemed like it was a good time.
Well, tell you what, right? Irish hip hop, right? For me, I've always been a massive supporter of any hip hop, right? I just love.
Joe, can I just jump in for a minute?
Yes, go ahead.
Is there how you know rap?
Here.
You're a lyricist and a songwriter, and I mean, Rob, I don't know if you know, Joe has a song that gets played at Celtic Park at every game.
No, I didn't know that. That's awesome. I do.
Worldwide Temp Parade. If you have a look on YouTube, you'll find it. Or we'll send you the link on Twitter.
We wrote it.
Joe,
I tweeted out.
When Rob said at the start, right, there was something Rob said at the start that I picked up on, that he said he was a secret rapper, right? And Joe, is it not your story that you were a secret rapper and a tape?
I knew you were going to bring this up.
It was like Joe's version of a stolen sex tape. It was Joe's stolen rap tape. And it went round the school. Is that right, Joe?
This is very, very true.
That happened to me, man. Don't worry about it. That happened to me when I was 17. And
I will tell you the story behind this. I'll tell you about, because I know the only person that knows about this on this podcast network is Chuck. Right? Chuck of Huddleboard fame, you know who you are, right? And the story is, right, I've been a massive hip-hop fan since I was 9-10 years old, right? And since, like, NWA, and EPMD, from way back then. I was always a big fan from way back then. And my favourite hip-hop band, because it was Irish, of course, was House of Pain. When I was younger, right? Everybody just fell in love with them. So, I'm a massive fan of words. I do lots of writing. I wrote lots of poetry, songs, play the guitar. So it felt only right that I attempt rapping in the privacy of my own bedroom with a tape recorder, right? But lo and behold, I ended up recording or copying a Beastie Boys album onto this tape. but on the very end of this tape, I'd left on me rapping.
Oh, yes.
And I'd give the tape to somebody else and listen, just copy that. It's a great album. It was the Beastie Boys. I think it was the
Ill Communication.
Ill Communication, yeah, it was Ill Communication. And on New Year's Day, with a massive hangover after being in a squat, drinking 3 litres of cider all night, I met the guy with the tape and he goes, "That tape has you rapping on the end?" And I was like, "Oh, Jesus Christ." Right? And what happened was he wouldn't give it back to me, right? It was Jerry Reynolds, if you're out there, you're a bastard. And
oh, Jared the bastard, I know.
Yeah. And on Monday afternoon at lunchtime, he brought it down to the bakery. He told everybody, and they all packed in the bakery, and the bakery played it.
Oh, excellent.
And I never lived that shit down. But I was just like, you know what?
You see, when you're our age, right, that would be mad embarrassing. See, the kids these days, they'd fucking love that.
Exactly.
They're brought up on X Factor and going for their dreams and all that shit. Back in my day, you had to keep your fucking dreams a secret because you get slagged to death. Like, was it?
Exactly. So Rob, me and you were ahead of our times. We were ahead of our time.
Yeah, exactly. It was that we're fucking thinkers.
Exactly. So, tell you what, let's talk about hip-hop. Get into it.
Sure.
What does it take? Like, do you know what? Do you know who embarrassed Irish hip-hop for me?
Who?
That arsehole Spiral.
I knew you were going to say that, you know.
The guy from Celebrity Big Brother.
He actually asked me to do a show with him one time. And I said, and my DJ, who was my DJ at the time, DJ Flip, was a great friend of mine, one of my best friends that I met through music. He had won like the World Scratching Championship, and he was like, "Oh, Spiral wants us to do a show with him." I was like, "I'm not fucking doing a show with Spiral," and he was like, "Well, I'm doing it because I'm getting paid." I was like, "Well, go for you. I'm not doing it."
He was on Big Brother. If anybody remembers him, he was an embarrassment to Ireland, never mind hip hop.
Yeah.
Right,
what put me off from it the most, apart from his terrible rapping, he seemed like a bit of a woman hater. You know, when he was trying to get off with the bird and she wasn't having it, and he turned on her, started calling her names and all. I was like, "Oh, you fucking maniac, what?"
I've not even heard of this guy.
I told you, Harper. We're going down the hip hop hole. I mean, you'll just be sitting there in silence for the next half an hour.
You're not missing anything. Don't
trust me.
I don't know. I think he moved to the UK to make comedies. In inverted commas was the lad. Actually, some of the lads chased him out of the hip hop night in Dublin.
I've seen videos of him being chased around Dublin, being called a wanker.
That was like some people I know actually did that, but
it's great fun because he's absolutely terrible. And the only Irish hip hop I can remember that I actually had real respect for was Scary Era. Remember Scary Era?
That's how, like, when we're going back on the hip hop stories. Like I said, I was a hip hop nerd and I didn't really do anything until I was around 24. But like, I'd always rapped in secret. Like Scary Era, I found their tape in one of the local hip hop shops and it was like just a black and white cover. And I know Rerod to this day, like, and DJ Maker met and spoke to them a number of times. Me and Rerod were supposed to do something, but I don't know. But they kind of made me believe that it was okay to use my own accent. Do you know what I mean? Because the boys were from Tullamore, like, and they were rapping like in a reggae style, like London Posse kind of, but they were doing it in their own accent, and I was like, all right, you know what I mean? This is how it's supposed to be done. You can't do it because you know when you start rapping in an American accent, like.
Yeah, I did that.
And so yeah, Scary Era. I love Scary Era. Madman.
And what about the boys with the plastic bags on their heads? Do they count?
I'm bringing them up in a second. Harper, I'm on a journey. I'm going to bring this up in a second. Trust me, I've been working on this all day. Working on this all day. Where you threw me off my flow there. I was ready. There was all sorts of Scary Era. And I suppose in terms of Irish hip hop, you could possibly put in Shanachie in there with the New York hip hop, like, you know, sort of Republican wave. Shanachie. From New York.
I don't know who that is, man. I must get up on that.
They did Unrepentant Fenian Bastard. Remember that tune?
Unrepentant Fenian Bastard. Yeah, I think I did. Do you know what? Like, normally shit like that I would gravitate to, but when people do it in hip hop, I don't know, I might have overlooked that one. I might have to have a look at it. So
that wasn't bad. What's cool is they ended up suing the BBC, which is pretty cool.
Excellent.
The BBC used their tune without asking them, so they ended up suing them and getting like 50 grand. Hey.
I wish the BBC would use a few of mine without asking me then.
So what I'm going to ask you is, you're probably the most prominent Irish rapper out there, right?
Well, don't start upsetting people now, because rappers are very sensitive these days. They don't like when people say that about me in other countries. Even, you know what I mean? The rap community is very sensitive. You have to, you know what I mean? A lot of them need a hug or something. They get very upset when they hear that.
Yeah, well, now, I'm going to go out on a limb for HomeBhoys and say, fuck those bitches.
Yeah, I guess overseas I've always had recognition.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, overseas is kind of not where it counts. I mean, home's where it counts. But I mean, in terms of respect, you get a lot of respect I mean, you've worked with Memphis Bleak from Rockefeller Records, and that's your Jay-Z connection right there.
Yeah, let's. Well, I suppose we might as well get to that one because it's an interesting one. Me and Memphis Bleak are the most probably unlikely fucking friendship on planet Earth, but for some reason, when I met him, we just hit it off and we're really good friends. Like, he actually came over last Christmas for like just 10 days with his missus just to be in Ireland, like, and hang out. We weren't doing shows. We ended up doing a couple of shows, but it wasn't planned. Like, he just came over like for the crack. Really, he loves it in Ireland and he likes it in Dublin. The relaxed atmosphere, I suppose, for a black man in living in New York and growing up in New York. Even if you have money, there's certain things you can't do. Like, he one of the things he was that amazed him was that you can just stop a cab. You know, because in America, the cabs are not stopping for black people.
For black guys, no. Not in New York.
We came out of a restaurant. We were at a Chinese restaurant, and I just put my hand out, and the cab stopped, and he was like, "Whoa!" But like, yeah, me and Bleak are really good friends. But back when I first met him, it was 2006, and he was over as part of the Jay-Z world tour because he's obviously Jay-Z's protege, and he performs on stage with Jay-Z wherever he goes. So I have been in contact with Green Lantern, and my thing was, look, do you want me to bring you some stuff that you can bring out on stage and the crowd will go mental? And Green Lantern was like, yeah, sure. So I had like a bunch of Celtic jerseys, Celtic scarves and all ready to give him. Now I'm on the way to meet Green Lantern, who's their DJ, or was their DJ at the time. I'm on the way to meet him, and someone rings my phone. And I was like, he was like, oh, Memphis Bleak wants to meet you. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Who's this? Like, and it was someone that knew Bleak. But basically Bleak was on the hunt for some greenery, put it that way, and it wasn't Celtic shirts he was looking for.
No, you mean, yeah.
So I seized the opportunity. I was like, fuck, you know, I'm a fan of Memphis Bleak. I was like, yeah, I'll go see him, no problem. So brought him what he was looking for, and in addition to that, brought him all the Celtic shit. I was like, look, wear this shit when you go on stage. So I was in the hope of getting Jay-Z, because Jay-Z was my favourite rapper, so I was in the hope of getting Jay-Z on the Celtic shirt and see what he wear it. But anyway, someone took a picture of him backstage. Lenny S from Def Jam took a picture of him with the Celtic scarf and put it on MTV, and I was like, nice one, because that's my Celtic scarf, and I gave that to Bleak to give to him, and it was like a moment for me. It was like a massive moment of the two great loves of my life, hip hop and Celtic, and you know, with Jay-Z at the crux of it. But what pissed me off was that, you know, that band Mogwai, they were saying they gave it to him. They were saying they met him in Scotland at Tea in the Park or something, and they fucking gave it to him. Or I don't know if it was them saying it or somebody belonged to them, but I was snapping because it was me.
All right, so let's just clear that up right now, because Mogwai, they're on a now formerly defunct podcast. They used to be part of the Celtic Underground sort of thing, weren't they, Joe?
They were on the Celtic Underground podcast, which is sadly no more.
Mogwai, if you're listening, you're found it.
I think someone because I was snapping about it on Twitter before, because I think might have been Joe Ledley or someone retweeted me when I sent the picture of Jay-Z with the Celtic scarf to him, and it wasn't Lenny. Lenny's never retweeted me. I'm going to get on to him about that. But
it needs to be your birthday for Lenny to retweet you. It has to be your birthday or something.
Yeah. I'm going to say, Lenny, it's my birthday. Please check out my new video. Buy all the music on iTunes. But no, so someone, I think it was Mogwai's manager or something, that come up with the story. Like, but you know, I like Mogwai too, but it wasn't them.
There you go. That's it cleared up, folks. Jay-Z got a scarf from Rob Kelly, brand new, HomeBhoys exclusive. Right. Well, Rob, how do you? I mean, is it just the fact that you do so much work and you're that prolific and you write so well and you freestyle so well and you're always among the right people? I mean, you get love on Radio 1 on Sirius Radio and radio show in the States. Which, Sirius Radio, if anyone doesn't know, Sirius Radio on the west coast of America, I know for a fact, is built into every single car.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, your tune's going to show up on Green Lantern's radio show, whether people like it or not, in their car.
Eclipse has been playing my stuff on Sirius, and DJ Premier, I got live from headquarters on the last.
See, anybody that doesn't know, DJ Premier, I mean, if you're going to talk about a living god among hip-hop, you're talking about DJ Primo.
Yeah, exactly. I met him a couple of years ago in Dublin, and I told him one day that I'd end up doing something. He just looked at me like, yeah. And then now he's playing my shit. It's crazy. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it is, to be honest with you. I think MySpace had a lot to do with it when MySpace was big. The Irish Americans latched onto me big time, like, and I think the song like that I did with Slane, song that obviously didn't get released, but because of the sample clearance, they had the sample from Dropkick Murphys shipping up to Boston. That did a lot for it. But I mean, in terms of just people like DJs supporting it, like people understand. No, it doesn't matter where you're from. Like people always understand if you're good or not. Like.
Yeah.
You know, so if it's shit, they're not going to support it, and if it's good, then they do support it, and it's just about good music. It's not really where you're from; it's where you're at. Do you hear that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the way I think of it. That's why I never really look too much into it. I know other people do get kind of sour over it.
My dad always said, "Don't go where the ball is; go where the ball's going."
Or like Martin O'Neill said about was it Essien? He has a great ability to show up where the ball has just been.
That's a great one.
That's one of your favourite ones.
I like that one.
Mine is always don't get to the bar until the round's been bought.
That's a good one, yeah. That's a good. I have a couple of mates like you. Yeah.
So I mean, like in terms of like getting your records and getting your stuff, if anybody out there's into hip hop and into Irish hip hop, I mean, like lyrically, I've seen you freestyle, and for me, a rapper's strength for me personally, because I'm a hip hop fan, is in the freestyle. Right?
Well, I don't want to break your heart in or anything, but a lot of those freestyles like will be stuff that I have ready. Like I mean, freestyling. Well, and that goes the same across the board. People call it a freestyle, but these days it's just a rap that nobody's got to get.
Yeah, but it's two schools. It's two schools of freestyle. You know, it's kind of like I know that there's a lot of Divine Styler would say that a freestyle is a non-conceptual rhyme.
Yeah.
Even though it exists, but it's non-conceptual. It doesn't exist for any other reason but the fact that you can spit it out.
Exactly.
Okay. And then there's guys on the other side like most Dash, Talib Qualities, and DJ Electronica's saying that freestyle is off top of the dome,
off the top of the head. Yeah, I mean I could do both. Like, but
I love both though. I love both.
I love both, but I mean, sometimes when you go to a radio station, like if you got like, say if I'm going to BBC and I'm going to do Fire in the Boot, like or something, or I'm going to Kiss, I'm not going to go there and go off the head because it's just you want people to come back and listen. And when you go off the head, sometimes it can be, be all over the shop, like, and you really have to, it's something you really have to practice. I don't want to disrespect it. Like, there's guys out there that are amazing at it, like Supernatural and.
Supernatural is amazing.
Yeah, they can go for days and days off the top of the dome. But 9 times out of 10, most time I hear people that are going off the top of the dome is complete gibberish. Like, so I always put a bit of thought into rhymes. So even if they are non-conceptual, they'll always mean something to me, or they'll have a double meaning, or a triple meaning, or a quadruple meaning, and it's up to people to decipher that. But yeah, I mean. I love going on the radio to rap. I mean, it's becoming more rare these days because the internet is making people famous for other shit. Like, they don't pay as much attention when they go to radio stations to rap anymore. Like, but that's where I'm from, kind of. But
can I ask a question about freestyling then, right? Because obviously, I'm big into my music, and I'm actually a bit of a Jay-Z fan, that right. But I'd be ignorant to like most of the people you're talking about, right? But you're talking about freestyling there, right? And my entire reference for that, and I'm not trying to be an asshole of that, like, but 8 Mile, right? That would be my entire reference. That movie, right?
Brilliant film.
Yeah, that's a brilliant film. What I want to ask is, I mean, is that going on in places like these sort of underground clubs where guys have just got on stage and battling with each other like that? I mean,
it's actually after morphing a little bit. It's after morphing a bit, but when I used to do it, it was very much in that 8 Mile format. So I won a good few of them, like in Dublin. When I started out, because it was the only way you could get a name back then, because everybody was on that 8 Mile buzz. Like, so, the venues were jumping on it, the promoters were jumping on it. So you had to kind of, if you wanted to rap and people say you were the best, you had to kind of go and do those battles. So I used to do them. It used to be a DJ format, the DJ played, and you do everything was off the top, like. And some people didn't know you have 1 or 2 lines you could fall back on, but most of it was off the top. But now it's kind of, there's a kind of a bastardized version of it, and they do it a cappella, and the rhymes are all prepared against each other.
I seen you battle.
I'm not really into it. I could never get into it. I've done it once or twice for fun, but it's not a format I like. I like the kind of the spontaneity of the freestyle battle. But a lot of those people that do freestyle battles and rap battles in general find the transition and making records very difficult. So that's kind of why I stopped doing it, because there's a stigma attached to that kind of MC battler. Rap battle, and they can't really ever. I stopped doing it. I had my last MC battle. I did one for fun there, but my last official one was against Rhymefest, who was over in Dublin with Mark Ronson. He was signed to. He wasn't signed to Kanye West, but he co-wrote Jesus Walks with Kanye West, and he did a lot of stuff. But he had beaten Eminem in a rap battle, so that's up on YouTube. People can look at that. That was pretty entertaining.
I'll have a look at that for sure.
That's Mark Ronson was with him. I took him by surprise. Actually, I don't think he thought I was going to be up to the standard that I was.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing I love about you is that people think about Irish hip hop. I mean, whether or not you like it or not, I suppose people think Irish hip hop and they go, "Really? What? You serious?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas I'm more like the minute I heard you sort of rhyme, because I'm like my ears tuned to sort of words after all these years. I'm going, Jesus, this guy's got flow. Definitely has flow, and you ride the beat so well. I seen a video of you like involved in a double duo sort of rhyme battle with two Liverpool dudes.
Yeah, that was I just did that for fun on the day. That was all completely off the top.
You were so many stories above every single person on that in that rhyme battle. It wasn't even funny.
In fairness, the two guys were drunk. But what happened was on the day they said we'll freestyle battle anyone in here. I was judging. It was down in Cork, and I didn't really like the way they said that. They were like, "Oh, we'll battle." So I was going around the crowd saying, "Who come up here with me? We get the." So like nobody wanted to do it apart from Boney, who had had a few drinks himself. Like so, it was just for fun. It was very awkward to look back on it. I didn't really like looking back on it. But I thought, because my shit was completely off the top that day. So,
but take it from me, you pissed all over them.
Oh, thanks very much. Nice guys though, both of them. O'Shea and innuendo, cool lads.
So I mean, if I want to give you the chance to shout out Irish hip hop because I think it's important in this podcast for that to be done. Who can you shout out who's got real talent, real skills in Ireland right now that anybody should be following?
None of them. Fuck them all. No, I'm only joking. I like my favourite rappers in Ireland are New Sense. Who's a good friend of mine. Obviously, I know them all. Like, some of us are good friends and some of us can't stand each other. That's just the way life is. But New Sense, I like. Terra. New Sense is probably the best rapper, I think, all round in Ireland. He can make commercial songs, he can make pop songs, he can make underground songs. He just has it all. He has an abundance of talent.
How do you spell that, Rob?
It's Nucentz.
New
but
Sense.
The fucker doesn't work hard enough. Like I told him that before, he doesn't work. He has a new single out now. He had Irish model Shahira Barry. They're touting her for Playboy or something. She's in the video. I can't remember the name of the song. Do You Love Me or something? It's called New Sense and Fonzo. Very, very good. The same guy that directed my videos did his videos, so pretty good. Then you got like Terrorist. He's another good guy. He'd be more for the conspiracy theory heads. He does actually all my recording, so he records and engineers all my vocals. He put me on the spot now. Like I like all of them. The Little Dialect makes good music. It's not that many, like, to be honest with you, there's not that many. Maverick Saber's probably the biggest thing we've produced here, like, in terms of hip hop, and even though he's gone completely singer, but he used to rap. I was just going to
say, I mean, I wouldn't consider him hip hop.
But he used to rap. He was an incredible rapper. Like, he's from up the road from me. He's
Limerick,
from Ross. He's obviously a lot. He's a lot younger than me. But he used to be at everything. Like I used to let him open up for me, and then he came back on tour, and I fucking opened up for him. Came back on tour singing, and I'm opening up for him. No, but he's a good lad, Maverick Saber. But you know, there's a lot of talent there out in Ireland at the moment. Like it doesn't really get the vehicle at home. That's why I'm always looking overseas to get my music on radio over there, because over here there's really nothing for you. Like
there's a great song. Have you ever heard of the guy called Ray Heffernan?
No.
Ray Heffernan's an Irish singer-songwriter, and believe it or not, this is God's honest truth. I personally know him. He's the guy that wrote Angels, right?
All right, okay, yeah.
Robbie Williams song, right? He sold it to Robbie Williams for like $7,000.
Nice.
I know, man. Nice deal, isn't it? And got no writing credit. But anyway, he's got a great song called "Let's Hear Some Irish Music" on Irish radio.
I understand that sentiment, because I mean, you guys have just listed some of the places where I've been playing in the world, and yet I find it incredibly difficult to get playlisted on Irish radio, as everybody does. Now, some of the regional ones like iRadio and Beat over here have been showing massive support for the last couple of songs, but I've had to kind of compromise my style a little bit to achieve a bit of radio, because you know, at the end of the day, you need radio play. You need to be on the radio. Like, so sometimes you gotta, like, not compromise the style, but sometimes you gotta, like, play the game a little bit, which I don't like doing, because I like to be taken on you know, my own merits. Like, but like, I can't get playlisted on 2FM. No Irish act, like Republic of Loose can't get playlisted on 2FM. The original Rude Boys can't get playlisted on 2FM.
That's just ridiculous. That's
It's
fucking
insane.
ridiculous.
Because you know what it is? It's full of dinosaurs. Like RTE is kind of state-owned, so anyone that's in there, like Ian Wilson is the program director, like, and that guy is like, I don't know what, but I don't think he's in touch with hip hop. Put it that way, like he's not. And it's what the kids are listening to. So all the kids are listening to it, but they're not allowed to listen to it on the radio. They got to find it on the internet. It's mental.
Yeah,
But,
let's
like,
all stop paying our licenses, right?
But
and
it's
and
not
let's
like,
start banning Rob Kelly albums.
It's a travesty. Like whatever about hip hop, because you know some of the dinosaurs will have their own view on hip hop, and they'll be like, "What is this shite anyway? We don't understand it." They're the type of people that listen to hip hop and they only hear the curses. But for the other bands, like the good Irish bands, look at all the ones that have come through Ireland and never got anywhere. Maverick Sabre is a great example. Never got anywhere in Ireland until he went to the UK and blew up. The Script went to the States and blew up. The Cores went to the States. You know, U2. The list is endless. Like there's no organic, and it's different in the UK where they do nothing but they ram their own necks down your throat over there. Like, and over here they just don't want to fucking play Irish music, and regardless of whether it's hip hop or not, they don't support it. Like Republic of Loose are an incredibly talented band for me,
yeah.
and I'm working with them actually on a new album, but and they can't get on 2FM. I remember talking to their manager before. I was baffled. Like, and basically what happens at 2FM is that like a panel of radio DJs have to all decide to add something onto the playlist. Now I do get support from some of the people in there. Jenny Green is a great supporter of mine, so I don't want to say too much bad about him. But when you're only adding like 2 or 3 new songs to the playlist a month, and all of the DJs have to agree on them, and you're looking at like Dave Fanning, and you know there's no Irish bands to. But then the regionals are out getting. Out listening to them now these days anyway. They're doing better than them in the ratings and stuff, so
yeah,
maybe the tide is turning.
But Rob, I mean, I'm speaking like I don't listen to radio anymore because I don't like what's on the radio anymore, right? Unless it's something really catchy that my kids get me into, right? Like I mean, I'm a fan of Justin Bieber now because I think
he's one of my favourites.
Because I think he's super talented, like
he's a good guy. He's a Victoria's Secret model now, isn't he? He's after breaking up with the missus.
You know what I mean? That's the kind of guy you want to support. I don't like the hip hop that's in radio. I don't like Lil Wayne. I just don't like him.
Yeah.
I
think the same song over and over is because music sales are down, so album sales are down, so everybody's chasing that royalty money on the radios and videos. So in order to be on the radio, then they have to conform to be a certain way. So that's why you hear the same shit over and over and over. Like it's just the same. If you have the radio on in the background, you can hear the same fucking song 7 times in a row, but it's all by different people, slightly tweaked. Do you know what I mean? It's tough out there. Like,
I mean,
music business is fucking weird.
But I mean, you've been doing this 10 years now. I mean, and you've clearly. I mean, you seem to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, I remember hearing you for the first time, and like, I had a bad taste for Irish hip hop then because the Spiral thing just pissed me off, right? But then I heard you, and I was like, this guy can rhyme. He can totally rhyme. He has a flow. He knows what he's doing. He understands words. He clearly has a passion for what he's doing. For you, having to play the business game as an artist in Ireland, right? I mean, where I know it's more clicky than fucking anything else, right? It's
tough,
more,
man.
it's more in-house. I mean,
I don't like it. I put this in. I give you insight because I never really said before, but I'll just tell you the truth about it. Like I put the single out about 6 months ago with Rebecca Creighton. Called I don't know if you saw that video on YouTube, but it did quite well. It was like record of the weekend on one of the shows on One Extra. Got a lot of support from Jenny on 2FM. Got playlisted on a couple of stations, but I had to go to like Spin 104 and like do these and the performances were cool and the people supporting it were cool. But that's just not for me. That's not what I'm about. Like I don't like playing the game with people and. Do you know what I mean? It's just not. We had a press launch for it in the Radisson, and I'm just not into it at all. Like I'm not into that part. So now I'm just making whatever fucking song I feel like making, and whoever gets it, and whoever doesn't. But I'm not playing that game anymore. I don't feel comfortable doing it. Like.
But for me, that's what hip hop's all about, and always has been about, Rob. It's always been about just expressing yourself. Hip hop came from the South Bronx, right? Some may argue it came from Jamaica through DJ Kool Herc, but at the end of the day, it's always been about people expressing what they're about and where they're from. That's all it was about. That's all it was about, right? What pisses me off that all these rappers going around, I got millions, I got cars, I got jets. And you're like, yeah, that's fine. No one's begrudging your popularity and your success. But you know what? Why don't you bring it back down to you know, to the real people, to where the music comes from, you know. And
that's coming back around. I mean, it goes in. What's missing at the moment is balance, because back in the day, you always had that. Like, if you're back in the day, you had Crisscross, you had MC Hammer, and Have Yourself in Your Lives. Yeah, you did have that, but you had, at the same time, you had Public Enemy, NWA, you had Big Daddy Kane, you had all that. So you had balance, so you could listen to one or the other. Nowadays, the radio is forcing all these kids to listen to Lil Wayne and Drake, and who make some good records, but you don't get the balance. You don't get on the airwaves. You don't get Action Bronson to balance it out. You know.
Yeah.
You know. So, but that's what it's just more difficult. But yeah, I understand that playing the game. I'm not going to do it anymore. It's just not. Whoever gets my music gets it, and if they don't get it, then it wasn't for them.
So what's the future for Rob Kelly then? Is there where can people get your records, your album? What's happening?
All my shit is on iTunes, so they can get it on iTunes and support me. That'd be nice. Christmas is coming, you know what I mean? So just get that stuff on iTunes.
Folks, you heard it there first. Get on iTunes, download some Rob Kelly. If you like hip hop, you like crispy beats, crispy Marley Marl snare. That's what I love about it. The music has that crispy Marley Marl snare that I like.
Well, that's down to Danny Diggs at the moment. Danny Diggs is an Irish guy. He's from Galway, but he's living in Vancouver at the moment, and he's an incredible producer. And he gets it. So he's one of them. He's a thorough head, so he gets it. He understands. And they're the records that I'm kind of making now. I'm not making chat records to get playlists on Irish radio. I couldn't give a shit anymore, to be honest with you. It doesn't appeal to me. Like so I just make whatever I want to make. But I've got an album coming out soon, and hopefully it'll be out in January 2013. Probably more likely Patrick's Day 2013. But it's called Black Irish Rogue.
Black Irish Rogue.
Yeah, and that's all the recent shit that you would have seen on YouTube will be on that, like the Canelo Alvarez and all that. Yeah, everybody go and look at that, by the way. I didn't give that a proper plug. It's Rob Kelly, Canelo Alvarez is the new video. You should get on that one.
And if anybody's listening, we'll tweet that. We have been tweeting it the last few days. So
Big time. Thanks for that, guys.
And do you want to explain the Canelo Alvarez connection there and the boxing connection? Got to bring up boxing as well before you go.
Yeah.
We'll start to get on to the big story of the day and something else.
Here, let's just keep going. Just keep going.
We started talking about Snoop Dogg buying Celtic.
That's true, yeah. I saw someone just tweeted me that before we got on this podcast. I saw it was a Daily Record link, so I don't believe it. But yeah, he said Samaras is his favourite player, so it sounds like bullshit. I don't know.
Come on, you're giving Sammy a bad rap there.
He said he never seen the game against Barcelona, but he watched the highlights. And if Samaras keeps playing as well as he is, we should get through to the.
I love the fact that it was we should get through.
There is a picture too, though, of Snoop in a full like Celtic.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I mean, like, how bizarre would that be? Imagine you go to the AGM and Snoop Dogg shows up.
We have to call Lenny Leggy.
Do you reckon that story has any base? I mean, it's in the Daily Record.
No, you know what? When you read it, man, right, it reads as in like somebody's asked him about it, right, and it seems like he genuinely did sort of make comments about the game, right, and somebody's obviously said, if there was ever a chance to buy shares in Celtic, would you be interested? And he's probably just says, I'll take a couple of shares in Celtic. Suddenly that's turned into Snoop Dogg wants to buy Celtic.
In fairness, I mean,
he did say he discussed it with David Beckham and stuff like that. And David Beckham says they're one of the biggest clubs in the world, and he says he's going to speak to Beckham again about it. So I don't know, but it did actually mention your picture at the very bottom of the story.
Oh, no way.
It did mention that Jay-Z, because he was talking about something with Jay-Z, and he says, and Jay-Z's been pictured before with a Celtic scarf.
And they didn't even give me any credit, the bastards.
They said something about Mogwai.
Fucking, I don't know. Beckham wouldn't get in our team at the moment.
Exactly, Beckham. Would you want Beckham?
What's he coming over here for? Coming over to coach or something, or be a motivational speaker, or sell jerseys? Because he wouldn't get in the fucking team at the moment. Anyway.
We don't really need wingers right now. The first.
James Forrest gets back fit. He's not. Chris not in that team. Paddy McCord is there as well. Don't forget for a cameo appearance.
Oh, Paddy McCord's a hot bone of contention on this show.
But listen, see the whole thing about that story, right? The point isn't really whether there's any basis to it or that. It's still the thing I think about back to who we were talking about Celtic being back on the world stage. But I mean, the fact that they've come out with it because somebody felt like they could ask Snoop Dogg, did they see the Celtic Barcelona game? So, Celtic is back on the world stage.
I know, but
they're actually reporting.
My question is, who's getting that close to Snoop Dogg and the Dilly record?
Yeah.
I mean,
my question is, are we going to be allowed to smoke weed at Celtic Park if we buy shares?
Amen, Rob.
You know what I mean? That could happen. Let's not rule it out.
Tell you, we could change the face of Scottish football.
It'd be better than fucking Rod Stewart, though, wouldn't he? Snoop would be better than Rod Stewart as the fucking, everyone's and his car salesman mate hugging him and all. What's Snoop fucking smoking a J in the Celtic jersey with a couple of holes beside him? We don't want fucking Rod Stewart with his spiky hair balling. Fuck's sake. Do you know what's funny about Rod Stewart? I found it ridiculous. Do you remember Dean Holdsworth? Did you ever see that clip of Rod Stewart on Sky years ago before now?
No.
Dean Holdsworth out to his house to train him, and Dean Holdsworth made him dribble around. He was fucking paying Dean Holdsworth to come and coach him to play soccer.
I think I did see that actually.
Fucking crazy. It's on YouTube. You should watch it. It's hilarious. And they were like, yeah, just Dean.
Rod Stewart has
dribbling around the cone. What are you talking about? The passion he's showing for the game.
Rod Stewart has a football pitch at his house, the same dimensions as Celtic Park.
He's a fucking nutcase.
He has in the dressing room the full kit of Celtic jerseys hanging up in pegs.
But I mean, imagine you were that rich, you were that nuts. You could
That's
do that.
what I'm saying. Holdsworth must have been rubbing his hands. Oh yeah. Who knows? One day you might get the call.
Oh.
Fuck's sake. I'm all for Snoop taking over. Get rid of Rod Stewart. I'm not against Rod Stewart, but I just prefer Snoop.
Oh. The thing that makes me suspicious is they refer to him as Snoop Dogg and not Snoop Lion.
Yeah, Snoop Lion now, yeah. Someone was lying in the fucking story, I think.
I'm saying someone's not following hip hop as closely as me and you.
Exactly. I look, Snoop can do what he wants. As far as I'm concerned, he's legend in my eyes, so he can do whatever he wants. I've always said that. As long as we can still buy players, like.
He says as well in the story that Glasgow had the best Indian food he's ever tasted.
Tell you what, we could have the first ever football player from Compton.
Yeah, awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Well, we had Gil Scott Heron's dad play for Celtic. He was the first Jamaican, wasn't he? So what could happen?
But didn't Gil Scott Heron come out and admit he followed Rangers instead?
Did he the fuck?
I never heard that.
I read that somewhere.
I never heard that.
I think I read it in the Daily Record.
One of those cruel fucking internet rumors. I don't think that's possible. How could your dad play for Celtic and then you fucking support Rangers? Like,
I never heard that.
Oh.
All right, okay, I'm wrong then.
Well, you might not be wrong. It's just
hot topic.
Rob is usually wrong. Mate.
I'm usually wrong, Rob. Listen, they make me the host because I keep talking. You know what I mean? Okay, listen. Tell you what. Recommend me some good rappers. Not Irish rappers. You've done the Irish thing. I'm always looking for good rappers. I mean, you like I've listened to you all day. That tune Game Over is phenomenal.
Thanks very much, Steve. Thanks very much. That kind of put me, did a bit fun.
And that happened earlier this year?
Yeah, I had a beat about 3 years ago, and whatever happened, the producer was wanting to sell it to fucking Puff Daddy or something, and then that fell through, and he let me have it again, and then Bleak just threw a verse on it, and then we stuck it out there, and it just kind of, Charlie Slot from BBC got behind it, and then when... It's funny because it's just to continue on from what we were talking about earlier. When it started to get played on Kiss as well, Shorty Blitz and Emcee in the UK and BBC, then the Irish radio station started playing it. It's fucking mental, like. But
that's just. I mean that's the. I mean Ireland, our Irish music radio stations and Irish music. No, not Irish music. I'm being generalizing there. Irish radio is the tail of British radio. And it gets wagged when it wants to get wagged.
Yeah, true, correct. Yeah, so Game Over that came about through that. But in terms of recommending good rappers, there's so many good rappers out at the moment.
I'm still waiting on the first J Electronica album.
Jay Electronica, I don't think is because he's banging one of the Rothschilds.
Is he?
Was
he married to Erykah Badu for a while?
No, yeah, he was. Everyone was married to Erykah Badu. I think if you rap, you had to be married to Erykah Badu for like 3 or 4 years. Start wearing weird clothes and fucking. No, he's banging one of the Rothschilds in London. He's living in London at the moment, and he's with one of the Rothschilds. So for those into the conspiracy theories and all that,
so that album's not going to happen then.
That album's never coming out. He's ever hitting the jackpot there somehow. So yeah, it's unfortunate because he's an amazing talent.
Jesus, man, the Pledge.
Yeah, he's awesome, and the Exhibit C. Yeah, Exhibit A and Exhibit C, both of them are, and the Ghost of Christopher Wallace is another great record. But
just incredible.
Jay Electronica, I really into at the moment the following rappers: Action Bronson, who I've worked with as well. If you're not up on Action Bronson and you're into hip hop in 2013, you need to get on that now. He's just dropped his second free album of the year. He's just been signed to Warner. It's called Rare Chandeliers with The Alchemist producing. Incredible. He brought me out on stage with him actually when he was in Dublin. He's coming back on December the 18th. We've done some records together. He's amazing. He's a white Albanian guy from New York who used to be a chef. Can you guys hear me? Yeah,
I can hear you. Yeah.
He used to be a chef, and he sounds amazing. You just got to get on it. He's got that kind of 90s production vibe. Tommy Mass, Alchemist. He just got the classic Queen sound. He's from Queensbridge. There's another guy, Rock Marciano. I don't know if you got his albums. He just dropped a new album called Reloaded. Absolutely incredible. And his last album, Marsburg, was incredible as well. These are ones that are not going to be over the radar, but they're getting there. And Sean Price, who's you may know from back in the day at Helter Skelter and Duck Down Records and all them. Sean Price and Tyson, unfucking believable. So there's 3 contenders for album in the last couple of weeks. And I promise you, if you get on them and listen to them, your faith in hip hop will be restored.
Rob, who was the first guy you said again?
Action Bronson.
Action Bronson.
Yeah, he's got he's got a red beard and the whole nine. And his videos are always really creative and comical. He's a great character, in putting hip hop, and an incredible lyricist as well.
What I like about you as well, Rob, is one of my favorite rappers is Keith Murray, simply because he's called Keith Murray.
Keith Murray, yeah. Do you know what? That's crazy that you said that, because that's exactly why I'm on Rob Kelly. Because when I went to the fucking radio station, I didn't have a rap name, and your man was like, "You have to have a rap name. Why don't you call yourself Kel or Raw?" I said, "Look, Keith Murray was Keith Murray. Eric Sermon was Eric Sermon. I'm going to be Rob Kelly." So that was why.
I like that. I like the fact that it's just like, yeah, my name is this.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed that. Rob, I don't know. I've got no more questions to ask you. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Yeah, you too, guys.
To be honest with you, I mean, I'm just going to sit here now and listen to Game Over again before the show finishes.
Rob, just before we go, have you got any shows coming up?
True shows.
No, I've got nothing. If anyone wants to book me for something, I had a great Machine Gun Kelly at the Academy there last month that was cancelled because he didn't sell any tickets. So shows are quiet at the moment. But I'm just working on finishing up the album Black Irish Rogue. As soon as that's done, I'll be back out on the road. I'll probably be back over in America and Boston and Canada, and hopefully I'll get to wherever he's at. I'd love to go to Glasgow and do a show, actually. That'd be fucking amazing. I have a lot of support. Well, I have a lot of supporters and I have a lot of people like over there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's Glasgow for you.
Yeah, I'd love to get over there sometime.
Are Irish hip-hop crowds at an all-time low?
Yeah, I'd say so.
The last hip-hop...
It's never been over here that you put on a show and mad people come. Like, I've done shows before and they'd be sold out, like, but they'd be in small venues, like, there's not... And I do shows all over, but in general, live music over here is kind of...
It sucks. But again,
we've got, like, when you think about what they had to cancel Oxygen because of the immigration, like, it's fucking, that'll give you an idea filtering down now to Irish hip hop crowds, the kind of crowds you're going to get, you know what I mean?
But about 2 years ago, I went to see, in 1 week, more or less, Talib Kweli, Mos Def and Madlib.
I opened up for Talib Kweli before.
He's an awesome live performer.
The funny thing about Talib Kweli that is a secret. When I opened up for Kanye West before, in the Point in Dublin, right, which is the O2 now, and his rider wasn't that extravagant. It was like KFC, right?
Yeah.
And when I opened up for fucking Talib Kweli, his rider was champagne, and he's like the most conscious rapper going, you know what I mean, and positive thoughts and all that. And his rider was full of fucking bottles of Mogwai.
You serious?
Yeah, I thought that was odd.
Oh.
Maybe he just likes champagne. He could be conscious and just like champagne as well.
The socially conscious rapper wants to be treated like a king?
Yeah, and he had a big mad food platter, and it was weird. I shouldn't be saying that, but fuck it.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. Get the fuck. That's the last album I downloaded illegally of his.
Yeah. I'm not even going to rob him anymore. But I think that's dying off. There's one. There was a great promoter called Wido who used to bring everybody to Tripod, and their Tripod is gone. So Choice Cuts are still around. They would bring your Mad Libs and your MF Dooms and.
Doom! I love MF Doom.
Yeah, MF Doom was a genius. MF Doom was a genius. You either get him or you don't get him. But if you get him, it's great.
But the thing is, I think MF Doom, you need to be a hip hop connoisseur to even sample some of that.
Yeah. He's not for. He's for the cultured hip hop area.
He is definitely.
He's for the cultured hip hop or the level-headed hip hop fan, because it's like football fans. And football and music are similar because you have fans of both, and they might be genuine fans, but the level-headed ones are the ones you listen to, not the mentalers who'll be talking about like sacking Lennon if we draw another home game, or you know what I mean. You know this kind of, or the hip hop fans will just be like, oh, complete shite. Da, 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 da.
But I think it comes through being experienced through anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Because if you're watching Celtic, I mean, you watch Celtic, join Celtic in the bad times. So everybody sees Celtic the bad times, and once you've been through bad times and you see good times, and then like a blip comes along.
I thought when Mowbray was appointed, we were going back to the dark age. Like he set us back fucking 15 years. I thought that can't be fucking really. He really killed us, didn't he? That year. That was probably the lowest point being a Celtic fan, apart from losing the league on the last day.
But looking back now, I think we can all see what Robbie Keane really was at the end of the day. He was there to keep us coming back. Because we all want to see Robbie Keane at Ibrox, and I went there to see Robbie Keane at Ibrox, and we lost the last kick of the game to Morris Adu.
And you bought a burger and you bought Coke and everything.
I bought my dad a sparkling water.
Joe loves the Blue Nose burgers.
You're a fucking
tomato sauce on his Celtic jersey.
He won't be getting any of them for a while though.
Exactly, thank God. You know what I mean?
But that was the Mowbray was my low point for and I suppose my high point was either the Juventus game or the Liverpool one away when Hearts and fucking, because we had lost the Scottish Cup final or the League Cup final on the Sunday, and then went to Anfield and everyone thought we were going to get beaten, and then just put in a performance like that, fucking unbelievable.
So just quickly then, Tuesday night, what's your prediction for Tuesday night? How do you see that going, Rob? I mean, I think Celtic fans, we were saying earlier, we've maybe been getting a wee bit carried away because, listen, Benfica's a very good team and they don't lose many games at home, so it's going to be a tough ask on Tuesday. So how do you see it?
We genuinely and honestly over the years always do things the hard way.
Yeah.
So something tells me it's going to go down to the last game. So I wouldn't be confident about us getting a win. I'm all for positive thinking and all that shit, but I wouldn't be positive about us getting a win over there. I think they might be too strong for us at home. And I think we're going to be we're going to try that defensive style against them as well, and it's not going to work as well against them as it did against Barcelona. So, although saying that, on the Strachan, remember Chris Killen led the line up front in the Stadium of Light. We came close that time and they just pipped us in the very end. Like, so you don't know. Like, I think it's going to come down and we're going to need a win against Spartak, because I'd say Barcelona will beat Benfica in the last game, and then if we get a win against Spartak, we'll go through. But I'm not optimistic, but hopeful.
I think it's all going to go according to plan. We'll beat Benfica. It'll be a draw.
We don't need to beat Benfica. We only need to get a score and draw.
I don't care. We'll beat Benfica. There'll be a draw in the other game, and we'll end up top of the group.
Top of the group, we need top of the group so we can get one of like the
Just saying. I mean, so far miracles have happened.
That's true. Samara scores a winner away in Moscow. That's a
exactly. I mean, so and Tony Watt, 18 years of age, scores a winner against Barcelona.
He has to get a special mention. I know he's been getting mentioned, but like, what a player he is! Like, what a player he's shown that he is already. Like, you know, scored on his first touch against Motherwell and his second touch, and just been banging in goals ever since. And his enthusiasm for the game is unbelievable.
That was his first professional goal at Celtic Park.
I know.
That's amazing.
Crazy. But look at Stokes. Like, Stokes not going to get back in the team now.
No, not a chance.
Stokes is finished.
Anthony Stokes is going to Stoke.
I mean, yeah, well, we're big fans of Anthony Stokes myself. I'm
a fan of Stokes. I was very happy when Stokes, very, very happy.
But
I like to see the Irish boys in the team too. But it looks at the moment that he mightn't even get back in. He won't have a shout. Like.
Tell you what, I would take Paddy McCourt for Stokes right now.
Paddy McCourt, his lovely cameo there a few weeks ago against Dundee United, come on to dribble and give the ball away and cause us to lose lose all 3 points.
Hold on a second, Rob. That's a touchy subject in this show.
I know, I'm a fan of Paddy McCourt. I am a fan. Everyone is a fan of Paddy McCourt, but I did think he gave the fucking ball away that game.
Harper, no responder?
So did Chris Commons 10 times before me, so did everybody 10 times before me. Just so happened that his cost the goal, so I'm not having that.
So Paddy gets a pass because Paddy didn't do it first.
Well, it wasn't any worse than anybody else.
Honestly, when he signed, I'd seen Paddy McCourt obviously playing for Derry City before and Shamrock Rovers, so I knew who he was, what he was about. But I remember the reaction of Collins in the Irish press.
Better than George Best?
Yeah, better than George Best and better than McGeady and all that.
He said I can remember he was on RT and he said he was better than Nakamura and McGeady put together.
That's right, I read that one too.
So just, Rob, just touching on League Ireland there, you sort of mentioned it, the Collins. Are you following League Ireland team? Do you follow the game much here?
No, I keep an eye on the results for Wexford Youths because I know some of the lads that I had when I was coaching at Wexford Celtic went on to play for Wexford Youths. They're the professional team that we have in the moment in the League of Ireland, but they're in the second tier of Irish football, which is nowhere really. I kept an eye on Pat Fennan. I'm surprised at how well Pat Fennan has done at Hibs, to be honest with you. I didn't really think he was going to be up to it at Hibs, and he's kind of proved a couple of people wrong, so I'm quite proud of him. Even though I want him to push us any further than they're pushing us at the moment. There's a couple of players that have come out of the League of Ireland that have gone on to do well, and that's always good to see, because I think Ireland in general needs to be producing more players that in order to keep feeding the national team, because we're on the slide at the moment. A lot of people are criticising Trapattoni, but I genuinely think we haven't got the players at the moment. So, and that's a real pity, because there's no real superstars coming through at the moment for Irish football, which is a pity, Do
you think?
I think a wee bit though. Scotland and in Ireland, it's starting to slowly get back to where it was maybe in the 70s and 80s. And what I mean by that is there's less and less players coming from abroad, and the teams are they've not got the finances and they've not got the big wages. I'm not talking about the top teams in the Premiership. Like, I'm talking when you go down the Championship, and same in Scotland and that. Like your Motherwells and teams like that, they're not bringing in all these foreigners anymore, right? They're starting to look back to the lower leagues in England and looking across to Ireland. And I tell you, I follow Drogheda United quite a lot. And I tell you, they've got some amazing young boys there who really have the chance, if they stick in and work at it, really have a chance to go on to decent things. Like, I'm not saying they're maybe not going to play for Celtic or stuff like that, but to guys in League Ireland, you only have to look at somebody like Niall McGinn. So I mean, the chances are there. The chances are
Kevin
becoming more and more.
Kevin Doyle, no Hunt. You know what I mean?
Keith Fahey. I mean, the chances are coming. Yeah.
Wesley Houlihan, but I mean, that's why I'm quite surprised at what's happening at the Scotland national team, because it's been like that for a good few years in Scotland now, where apart from Celtic and Rangers, you got to play kids because you can't afford to buy anybody, and you think that those kids would be, that Scotland would be producing players that would go on and kind of make it for at the national side. But it's just, maybe it's Craig Levein wasn't the right appointment or whatever, but you kind of you have to play your hand, don't you?
Yeah, that's it, right? Joe, we lost Joe.
Joe's gonzo, is he?
I've gone for a piss, yeah. Sorry, I'm back.
I knew that.
I was standing up waiting for you to stop talking to go, let's go for a piss. Then all of a sudden, you just wouldn't shut up, so.
This one.
When you just need to be, I wasn't here.
Yeah, exactly.
What did I miss?
It's like the fucking Twilight Zone there for a minute.
We're just talking about how Scotland want to really develop players and the youth when they coming through. And we don't know why.
I think that's going to change. That I tell you what, I think that's going to change. See, your man Fraser at Aberdeen, right? I tell you what, see a talent like him. See, before this year, he'd have been snapped up by Rangers.
Yeah, probably.
And that's the problem. That's the problem with Scottish football. Rangers are offering these kids great money, but no football. Teams like Aberdeen are offering these kids, well, you know, a wage better than the average man.
Yeah.
And football.
Yeah.
And
not bad, is it?
That's the only 19,000 people were at that game the other day.
Yeah.
Look at Niall McGinn, right? Celtic brought him over for Derry, right? And then he went to Brentford. And he's playing by Aberdeen there, right? And your man was saying he scored 7 goals in his last 7 games. Do you know what I mean? The chances are there for young Irish and Scottish talent.
He wanted a goal on Saturday.
Yeah, he did, definitely.
So I mean,
I never really took to Niall McGinn as good enough for Celtic. Obviously, he wasn't. And I never really thought he was. He showed a bit of promise and stuff, but he was just one of the remnants of.
Nice guy, really nice guy. He came over,
I'm sure he is. Yeah.
He came over to the Celtic convention in Las Vegas. What year was that? Last year, 2011. So and he came over in his own back. The players, the club never sent anybody, even though they promised they would. And Niall McGinn came over on his own back with his agent. So that was really good. I'll never hear a bad word said about Niall McGinn.
Niall McGinn's got restaurants, clotheslines, and perfumes. I tell you, Jay-Z and football.
I tell you, who was a prick when I met him. Isle Berkovich.
Oh well,
he was a
prick anyway.
I think he's
at the airport one time when I got his autograph. It was the worst thing. I don't like getting people's autographs anyway. It's a fucking weird thing with me. I've only got a couple of people's autographs. I've got, this is a weird one. I've got Jay-Z's autograph. I've got Henry Glasson's autograph, and I got John Hartson's autograph, and I ditched Berkovich's one because I was like, fuck him. He was really a prick when I met him. And I wasn't like I'm not the kind of person who's like all over people when I meet him anyway. I was giving him his space, but he just seemed like he didn't really want to sign an autograph.
I think the problem is, Rob, you look like a Palestinian.
Oh, Jesus. Do you know what's quite there's no use for the name of the show, Joe, because I was going to say to Rob, he's going to have to work HomeBhoys into one of his rhymes, but I mean,
whoa.
It's in every rhyme ever written.
Rob's not leaving this podcast until he spits some freestyle fire.
Oh man, they put me on the spot now.
Am I?
I'll do something for you, yeah. That's not. It won't be freestyle, but it'll be something nobody's heard from before, maybe.
Oh, that's perfect for us, man. Told you. I'm a fan of any rhyme, but keep that in your head because Harper, we still got some more marriage in this.
What?
Some more marriage in the podcast.
Harper's gone for a piss now, are you?
No, I'm here, man. There's no sending me to the toilet yet.
I'm actually half pissed, and I just drank 2 liters of cider.
Nice. It's definitely been the fucking most unique interview I've ever done anyway, that's for sure.
That's why this show is so popular, Rob.
Because most cunts, they might go and all that shit, right? And they'll ask you the dumbest question, especially Irish interviewers, right? They always ask me the dumbest question. They go, how did you get into the old rap? Tell us how you got into the old rap thing. I'm like, fuck off. Do an old rap for me there now. Do a rap about me. Do a rap.
Tell you what,
fuck out of here.
See, Alexa.
That's what would have happened if I was hosting this interview.
What the thing though, like, when he sent me that message, I was like, oh shit, that's Rob Kelly. Because I was like, oh my god. Because I knew how much respect you'd had from abroad.
Yeah.
I kind of knew. I was like, Jesus, that's like, and being only a person like me who's been in hip hop for that long. I mean, I had a subscription to HHC.
Me too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh man.
HHC, yeah.
Me and you obviously went to our local news station and went, please, could you please get HHC?
Can I tell you something? There was a minute when I was sitting looking at it and I was really tired coming home. I remember I was telling you I was coming home in the bus, Rob.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm going, Joe's going, oh, holy shit, that's Rob Kelly. And I'm going, R. Kelly. Shit, R. Kelly. Is that R. Kelly? So, I mean, no, that can't be. No, that must be something.
Here, actually, you know what? If anybody likes R. Kelly, if anybody hasn't watched Trapped in the Closet by R. Kelly, it's the greatest thing you'll ever see in your life.
Where's more? But imagine he had been trapped in the closet and he was really a Celtic fan. That was what he was trying to get to in the end. A 9-part musical finishing up with You'll Never Walk Alone. But what were we talking about that time?
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, you were saying about prepping for the interview or something. Yeah, no, because they always ask you such fucking stupid questions. Like, so this is kind of cool for me to do because it's the first day. Because I've done some other shit with boxing. Like, you know, I've gone to the ring. I've been in Oisin Fagan's corner. I've been in Andy Lee's corner. They come out to my song shit, and that would be cool from a boxing view. But I've never done anything with like the Celtic community, you know, on like in a media thing or a magazine or nothing. So I was really cool. I was looking forward to this. I was.
Listen, Rob, I know we done this in a recorded interview, but I mean, if you're on a Monday night, you can call in to the show just for a general call-in anytime, like same as anybody else. Like, you know what I mean?
Definitely keep in touch because I know we didn't get too much into the football side of things tonight, but you know, I know I'm not saying I know a lot. I know a little bit about a lot. You know that way.
Yeah. Well, you're always welcome to call in. You know as much as us.
I seen John Duddy in one of your videos as well. You shot at John Duddy in a slideshow in one of your videos.
That was just I hadn't to do that. That was just the editor, whoever did it.
You're clearly a boxing fan, though. I mean, you're clearly a boxing fan. There's a lot of mentions of right hooks in your lyrics. So I mean,
no bit of boxing at the moment. I went back to a couple of years ago just to do it, but they're trying to talk me into going to the novices this year. But I think that's a young man's game. I'm not interested. But I love boxing. Yeah.
Are you following our hero in hoops from Boston, Danny O'Connor?
I am, right, but I tell you, there's a bit of a contentious story there because I think the Dropkick Murphys are fully supporting him, aren't they? He's some way affiliated to them.
Yeah.
They blocked the release of Dropkicked.
Which, in fairness, was a great tune.
Yeah, the fucker stopped me releasing it, like, and they got their lawyers after me, and the lawyers came after me, and like I had phone conversations with the lawyer, and she was going after me, like she was really going after me, hit me with the cease and desist, and then I put up a video on YouTube, and it was like these cunts are fucking fake Irish people. They robbed that riff anyway. La 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 la. All of a sudden, then I started to get a reaction from him. So Ken Casey phoned me from the Dropkick Murphys, but he phoned me on the day of my ma's funeral, so I couldn't talk to him. And then I rang him back about a couple of weeks later, and we sorted it all out, and everything was going to be grand, and we were going to work together and all. Then I never fucking heard from them again, like. So they still never let me put it out. So I am following as well, like, but I'm just still a bit sour with the Dropkick Murphys.
But you have been involved with Slane from Boston. I mean, you've played in Boston. You played that song in Boston.
I went over to Boston off the strength of that song before it even had a video. It was just big on MySpace. I released on MySpace, and I think I got like fucking 100,000 listens or something in the first weekend. It just took off like fucking wildfire for me, like. So I was over in Boston, like, and people were telling me they were friends with the band. Maybe it was a bit naive because I've never had a manager or a label or nothing. I've done everything myself the whole time, like, so I never had anybody doing this shit for me. So I was a bit naive. And one of the guys was like, "Oh yeah, well we know them. Like they heard the song, they're cool. They release it." So we went to release it through a Boston label, and then they fucking hit us with the cease and desist. That would have made me a fortune, that song, you know. But because it was up, like they've had it taken down off YouTube like 5 times. It's up on YouTube now. It's on like 70,000 views, but there's like a fair play copyright policy, some whoever uploaded it.
Yeah. I've seen it. But I tell you what, man, I'd love to bridge that gap.
I'm still a big fan of them. I like their music and all. Still, I'm still a big fan of them. I hope that guy does well. It's always nice to see an Irish American guy kind of embrace, and especially a Celtic fan. Like.
I'd love to, because see that tune you recorded with that sample. It's fantastic. So I'd love to see that gap bridged, because that's unfair for everybody.
Well, it's just the whole thing was with me. I think what it came down to was they couldn't give permission or whatever. I just wanted the people to have it. I didn't give a fuck about the money anyway. I just wanted the people to have it and be in. And now it's on YouTube still, so at least people get it. But I would have liked people. I just like it, because I said I'd sign over the money to them. I didn't want the money. Like I said, they could have kept 100% of the royalties. Like, but it didn't work, unfortunately.
Well, tell you what, man. Hopefully we'll see it again. Can we ask you, but before this show finishes up, you spit some fire for us?
Hold on there. Let me try and think of something. I was working on something. This is going to mean nothing to Harper, by the way. Cause he's not.
Doesn't matter, man. Tell you, the words is the words.
I was working on something. I do a lot of my writing in the car when I'm driving and stuff, so I just...
So do I.
Just kind of hits me. Luckily not that it hits me when I'm driving, but let me see. What way does it start? Golden era hats. The Kangols before the snapbacks and era hats. Heard scary era rap before I even had a pair of Macs. Fellas bump you in the dance hall like, fella, what you staring at? But now I'm murdering the track. Drive a fucking diesel van with a lurcher in the back and a model on the side. Dog shit on the Leboutin. She's in the mirror pouting. I told her, yo, that's not what I'm about, hon. Whipped it out and put it in her mouth. Wah. And she called me a misogynist. Baby, I'm the flip side to that androgynous. A caveman, Flav Beard Adonis with a tattoo of Madonna on the left side. On the N11, screaming West Side. Peeped it like Ricky with his left eye. The slick talk make her legs slide. And the old-fashioned 1, 2, 3 and make his head fly. That's about as far as we went.
I'm loving that, man. That's brilliant. Oh, wax side. I'm loving the wax. I love the wax side. That's brilliant.
Yeah. That's tongue in cheek, obviously.
That's brilliant, man. Oh, that's fantastic. Folks, we always bring you something off center here at HomeBhoys, and tonight I think we've outdone ourselves in a certain way. Give it up for Rob Kelly. Harper, anything to say?
No, man, just I didn't really know your stuff beforehand, but I'm definitely going to check out. I just actually downloaded one of the singles there. As soon as you said you were needing it for Christmas.
Which one?
It was the single you were talking about with the bird.
The real thing? Yeah.
I just downloaded that, 198 on iTunes.
Oh, excellent. You get the acoustic version and everything.
That's right. There's an acoustic version, 2 tracks.
Fair play. Well, look, I just want to say to everybody, all the Celtic fans, obviously, I'm a huge Celtic fan, so I'm one of you. I'm part of the Celtic family, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Rob H. Kelly on Twitter. And actually, even though I wasn't born, as I said, born into a Celtic fan, Rob Kelly was the chairman in 1960 when the European Cup. So, there you go. But yeah, Rob H. Kelly on Twitter. Check out the shit on YouTube and all that. And follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you all back.
That's it, folks. Rob H. Kelly on Twitter. Follow him. Irish hip hop hero. Get your hands up. And we are here. My name is Joe McKenna. Harper, say goodbye.
Good night. God bless.
Rob Kelly. Last word to Rob Kelly.
Nice one. Hail, hail.
Cheers, Rob. Hail, hail.
Cheers, Rob.
I don't have a couple milli, but I have a couple grand. Don't pack a 9 milli, but I have a couple hands. If any silly Billy wanna press up on the farm, I knock 'em out chilly with the inside of my palm. That's chilly as in cold. They say I'm getting old. I say I'm getting started. In heartless, marvelous. Rapper from the European Union. I'm a fucking beast. Catch me howling at the moon and then acting like a werewolf. But a silver bullet couldn't stop me. PG Tips monkey always see me with the hot tea. You must have forgot these rappers try to drop me before, then they woke up with their cornflakes soggy. You can't f with Bobby, I'm an animal, I eat them all, and you're not sick. Take a paracetamol. Any little rapper wanna run against Kel can come back to me when he getting double XL. Those rock and roll stars always act the same. The superstar life really numbs your brain. They say too much love drives a man insane. In that case, I must be going crazy. It goes rock and roll stars always act the same. The superstar life really numbs your brain. They say too much love drives a man insane. In that case, I must be going crazy. It go wop, bop-a-loom, bop-a-wop, bam, boom, tutti fruity. Rob Kelly, I roll with your cutie. I'm so rock and roll. Good golly, Miss Molly. It's Bobby Body, a rapper who tried folly. Cause back in 03, had juice like my waddy. And now my career's getting bigger than my body. Don't say lick me like a lollipop. I say get on the ground, face down, body shots till your body pop. Might see Bobby hop out of no rhyme with a blonde on my arm. Cause I'm born with the charm and I'm fond of the gams. So king keep me laced cause I'm magic. Like I had a wand on my arm. I'm a big dog, Kelly Power rapper, the rapper. Abracadabra, make me wanna reach out and grab ya. I'm posted up in a hot like Java with a bird on my lava that f***ing look like a human Viagra. It goes rock and roll stars always act the same. The superstar life really numbs your brain. They say too much love drives a man insane. In that case, I must be going crazy. It goes rock and roll stars always act the same. The superstar life really numbs your brain. They say too much love drives a man insane. In that case, I must be going crazy. Pack it up, pack it in. I rock your chin, turn off the little button on your nervous system. Woo, lights out, the kid is type crazy. I rock a bye, baby, your rapper who tried play me. And there's a thin line between love and hate, but a big f***ing difference between good and great. That's why you'll never surpass me. No siree, I make pieces of chimpanzees like potpourri. And hopefully you're gonna see a dope MC making mad money like I'm supposed to be. But until that day come, I'm still broke as with the system up in a hunk of junk. And a bad girl beside me that I make every bird wanna kiss other girls like Kate Perry. I give up, I'm sick as fuck, I hit it up and split it up. You need the Grey's Anatomy cast to come and stitch it up. Those rock and roll stars always act the same. The superstar life really numbs your brain. They say too much love drives a man insane. In that case I must be going crazy. It goes rock and roll stars always act the same. The superstar life really numbs your brain. They say too much love drives a man insane.